3, a family tragedy during the holidays. A woman and her father are dead, deputies say, at the hands of her own husband. Remembering a hero as our community mourns the death of a canine officer. Today we're learning more about the violent past of the suspect who opened fire and killed him. Expensive crash, a Ferrari of all things, ends up in the Palm Beach Inlet. We'll show you how crews brought it out.
Working out in 2019, the tips you need to make you not dread your workout and actually make you want to go to the gym.
This is CBS 12 News at 3, and here's what's trending right now.
Now at 3, beautiful weather for many of you who have the day off or have friends and relatives in town. But if you're headed to the beach, a warning right now. Be careful of the risk of rip currents. Let's go ahead and check in now with CBS 12 meteorologist Kate Wenzel. And the question, Kate, how long will this beautiful weather stick around?
Well, Paul, it's going to be sunny and warm for a while, but windy too. And like you said, that is wreaking havoc at the beaches. Right now it's 75 in West Palm Beach and the wind sustained out of the east at 18. But check out our current wind gusts, gusting up to 30 miles per hour for Delray Beach, 25 in West Palm Beach, and up to 26 in Vero Beach. So yes, dangerous swimming at the beaches. For your Thursday boating forecast, winds out of the east-southeast 20 to 25, seas 5 to 7, at times up to 9 feet. And on Friday, winds out of the south-southeast 15 to 20, seas 4 to 6. Small craft advisory in effect through Friday. Coming up, I'll let you know when those winds will start to decrease and when you'll need your umbrellas again.
Good morning there, Kate. Thank you. A heart-wrenching story on the Treasure Coast. Deputies say a woman and her father are dead, killed by the one person who promised to love that woman for better or for worse. Deputies say her husband killed both of them, then turned the gun on himself. CBS 12's Treasure Coast reporter Aaron McPherson live from the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office. And Aaron, such a tragic story here, especially around the holidays. Do we have any idea how it all started?
Well, Paul, it is a very sad story. Now, the sheriff here tells me that the woman killed tried to get out of this relationship, but it was just too late.
A quiet neighborhood erupts with gunfire and screams just 2 days before Christmas. Deputies say 53-year-old Mark Holland shot his father-in-law, 84-year-old Rudolph Rem, then shot his wife, 58-year-old Renee Holland, before turning the gun on himself. Holland didn't die from his injuries until Christmas night. Turns out he was arrested before for domestic violence in Indian River County back in August, but the case was dropped
due to lack of cooperation by the victim.
Paul Taylor is the lead detective for this case. He says it's unfortunate, but it's not uncommon for a victim to go back to their abuser.
It takes anywhere from 7 to 11 times before a female will actually leave a batterer, or vice versa. It could be a male also, but it's about 11 times before they actually decide to finally leave.
Deputies say this case makes 7 death-related into domestic violence death-related incidents here in the county just this year. And if you are in a bad situation, there is help out there. Just call 211. We also have some information for you on our website, cbs12.com. Reporting live, Aaron McPherson, CBS 12 News.
Don't be afraid to reach out, Aaron. Thank you. Breaking news right now. President Trump and the First Lady are in Iraq right now. The president making his first visit with American troops overseas in an unannounced trip. Now, during the visit, the president saying he has no plans at all to remove U.S. troops from the country. New at 3 today, an unusual call for help and a rescue mission off Palm Beach. Take a look. A person calling 911 today after somehow driving a Ferrari, of all things, into the Palm Beach Inlet. The driver getting out safely, but someone, you know that someone is definitely hurting over the loss of a very expensive car. Now, crews floated the Ferrari on lift bags to Jim Barry Light Harbor Park to bring it out of the water. We do have a crew on the way, and we'll bring you more as soon as we learn how this happened. Riviera Beach Fire Rescue responding to a house fire today. Go ahead and take a look right now at this video they posted on Twitter. Fire crews able to put out that fire at a house on 35th Street. The cause tonight remains under investigation. This comes just days after another family lost everything in a fire right before Christmas. And Palm Beach County Fire Rescue tweeting out this photo saying in the last few days they've responded to more than 1,000 incidents, and that includes 17 structure fires. New details right now on the loss of a hero since the killing of the sheriff's canine on Christmas Eve. CBS 12 News has looked into the past of the 2 suspects caught at the mall. CBS 12's Chuck Weber live in West Palm Beach now with the new information. What do we know today, Chuck?
Well, Paul, you may recall Sheriff Rick Bradshaw said both of these men needed to be off the streets. We've now learned that one of the men they were looking for there Christmas Eve at the mall not only was wanted for a recent bar shooting, but also for being a no-show in court. Both 28-year-old Giovanni Ramos Alvarez and 19-year-old Justin Vasquez were sought for an attempted murder, a recent shooting at a bar. The sheriff's office says Vasquez complied with deputies' orders at the mall and surrendered. Vasquez faced a judge yesterday and is being held no bond. The sheriff's office identified the other suspect, Ramos, as a Latin Kings gang member. PBSO says Ramos refused to surrender, ran, and shot at deputies multiple times, hitting and killing K9 Seago. 2 deputies returned fire, hitting Ramos, who at last report was in serious condition. Deputies arrested Ramos just last year for sale of cocaine and criminal mischief. Court records show warrants for Ramos's arrest on both of these cases, too. Back in 2005, at age 15, Ramos drove a stolen truck to Lake Worth Middle School, rammed into a police officer's golf cart, injuring the officer, and tried to run over the school's principal and the police aide. Ramos served a 4-year sentence in state prison. Ramos will almost certainly face new charges related to the incident there at the mall on Christmas Eve. That is, firing at deputies and also killing the K9. Now, ahead at 6 o'clock, or really rather 5 o'clock, we're going to be talking about the penalties for killing a K9 and the move to toughen penalties. Live in West Palm Beach, Chuck Weber, CBS 12 News.
A lot of people are talking about that crime. Chuck, thank you. Right now, we are watching a rally taking place on Wall Street. After a 4-day plunge in U.S. markets, stocks jumped as much as 3%. Look at the numbers there. Right now, the Dow is up more than 600 points. But it's still on track for its worst year since 2008 and worst December since 1931. All this as we are now 5 days into the partial government shutdown with no end in sight. President Trump saying the shutdown will not end until Democrats agree to put up billions for his border wall. But Democrats are saying they will not support any money for a wall. In a joint statement, Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi wrote, quote, "The president wanted the shutdown, but he seems not to know how to get himself out of it," end quote. Trending in headlines across America right now, the Department of Homeland Security says it has completed new medical screenings of almost all the children in the care of U.S. Border Patrol agents. Now, the screenings were ordered after a second child died this month. This time, 8-year-old Felipe Gomez Alonso from Guatemala. He died on Christmas Eve. And before that, last Monday, the body of 7-year-old Jacqueline Cual Maquin was buried in her hometown in Guatemala. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg recuperating at home this afternoon. Doctors discharging her from a New York hospital yesterday following surgery to remove 2 cancerous nodules from her left lung. Doctors discovered the cancer last month after Ginsburg fell and fractured 3 ribs. The court says she has no evidence of any disease elsewhere in her body. Well, today is the official start of Kwanzaa. The 7-day-long holiday celebrates family, community, and culture from African and African-American origins. Feasts are also part of the festivities, as well as the lighting of 7 candles representing the principles of Kwanzaa. All right, every day at this time, we ask you the question of the day. Are you ready? Today's question: we're most likely to rush out and buy batteries on Christmas Day. So the question, what was number 4 on the list? Here's your first hint. It's not takeout. That's right. Stay with us. We'll reveal the answer at the end of the newscast. Well, all the presents have been opened. We'll tell you how not to advertise what you got to keep those thieves away. Plus, the new link between back pain and mortality rates in women over 40. And new drone video showing this, the widespread devastation in Indonesia as people there fear yet another tsunami.
CBS 12 News at 3.
4 days after this devastating tsunami killed more than 420 people in Indonesia, shelters overflowing, as you can see there, as officials warn people to stay more than a mile away from the shoreline. Right now, there's fear of another giant wave as a volcano continues to erupt, causing that huge wave. Now, the new drone video shows the devastation in more remote areas as the search continues for survivors, though severe weather is slowing the rescue efforts there. Trending in health headlines now, a possible link between back pain and mortality. Researchers in Boston finding a higher mortality rate among women over 40 who suffered low back pain. Now, doctors say the findings suggest better back pain management might improve and extend the quality of life. Well, one porch thief picked the wrong woman to steal from. We're going to show you the takedown. You're going to want to see it. And many happy returns. The mall's busy with people returning those unwanted gifts. How stores are offering big savings to inspire you to spend even more.
It seems like Jennifer Lopez doesn't age at all. What she says is her secret to good health.
CBS 12 News at 3.
Welcome back. Well, most of us have heard of FOMO. That's the fear of missing out. But we can now leave that back in 2018. Here's Terry now with why FOMO is being replaced with JOMO.
Yes, you heard that right. JOMO is now a thing. So JOMO stands for the joy of missing out. It's all about disconnecting, opting out of plans, and being totally okay with it. Basically, the internet describes this as being present, enjoying exactly where we are, a kind of mindfulness per se. So to achieve JOMO for 2019, the first thing you should do is set some boundaries. Also set limits on your use of social media and choose what you are doing in each moment with intention. If you're setting an exercise goal for 2019, here are some tips the experts say will make you crave the gym. So it really all comes down to mindfulness as well. First, when you go to the gym, take a minute to think about how you're feeling. This way you know what your body needs. Next, pay attention to your breath. And finally, allow yourself to do your own thing if what's going on in, let's say, a group class is not working for you. Well, we all know this woman right here, Jennifer Lopez, is the queen. And, well, she looks way younger than her 49 years. So she says it all comes down to getting a good amount of sleep. She says she makes sure she gets between 7 and 9 hours of sleep per night. She says she carves it out of her busy schedule to make sure she gets it. She also says she does not drink any caffeine or alcohol at all.
Wow, I'm going to take some tips from J-Lo. Thanks, Terry. Trending into consumer news right now, many happy returns. Stores back open and expecting large crowds as people rush to return their unwanted gifts. Now, retailers are trying to capitalize on the returns by lowering their prices, hoping that you'll buy instead of just exchanging or returning. It's estimated 50% of consumers will take advantage of post-holiday sales in stores and 45% online. Well, if you're headed out to exchange gifts, here's what you should know. The number of days stores allow you to make returns can vary from 15, 30, or 45 days. Also a good tip, check the gift receipt. Many retailers like Walmart, Target, Best Buy, and Amazon will extend those return policies. Experts also advise, if you can, wait until after the first of the year so the lines aren't too long. And for the gadgets you are keeping, be careful with what you do with your trash. Law enforcement reminding us today that those empty boxes can be a tip-off to thieves as to what kind of new valuables you have in your house. The best thing to do, break down those boxes, they say. Also put them right in the dumpster or keep them out of plain sight. And if gifts are still being delivered to your house, experts say you still need to be on guard for those porch pirates. One thief in Colorado definitely chose the wrong woman to steal from. Take a listen.
What's your name? Did you just steal something? Give it. I'm gonna call the police. I've got you on camera. Give me the thing now. I'm taping you. Yes, you did. I saw you.
Wow, the homeowner watching it all happen on video taken by her Ring doorbell. Then she jumped into her car and chased down that thief. She finally gets the girl to stop and in the end, give the box back. Wow, you know what? Sometimes authorities say don't do something like that. You don't want to get hurt. You never know if any of those thieves are packing, right?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be quite that aggressive.
No.
But turned out okay.
I'd let it go. It's just a box. Whatever is in it is not worth your life, right?
Absolutely, Paul.
Right.
Yeah.
What is worth my life today
Yes.
is that weather forecast you've got. So beautiful out there.
Yeah, isn't it nice, Paul?
It
Yeah,
is.
it's very enjoyable.
We should just leave and take a walk, maybe.
Well, maybe after the 3 o'clock show.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's a
we
good
got
idea.
another 11 minutes. All right, here's what it looks like across West Palm Beach. We're seeing partly cloudy skies right now. Nice, comfortable temperatures, checking in at 75 degrees, and it's a bit breezy out there with the wind sustained at 18 miles per hour, and they're gusting even higher than that with our winds out of the east. Current temperatures 75 for Vero Beach, 75 Fort Pierce, 75 degrees in Okeechobee, and Boca Raton checking in at 74 degrees. degrees. As we head into the dinner hour, 72 for Jupiter and West Palm Beach, 71 Wellington, Indiantown right around 70 degrees, staying mild tonight with that nice beach breeze. 72 at 9 o'clock for Jupiter, 72 West Palm Beach, and even at midnight, temperatures in the low 70s by the coast, upper 60s inland. Now, wake up temperatures Thursday morning, 72 for Boca, 72 Delray Beach, Lake Worth, 71 degrees, Wellington 70, and Belle Glade a little bit cooler inland, 67 degrees, 70 for Jupiter and Palm Beach Gardens, Jupiter Farms 67, and across the Treasure Coast, wake up temperatures there in the upper range of the 60s, a little cooler in Okeechobee, 64 degrees there. So a tight pressure gradient has set up across South Florida. We have high pressure to our north. We have an area of low pressure over Texas, and that is going to continue to bring those easterly and eventually east to southeast winds to Florida over the next several days. So you can see tonight winds gusting to 30 miles per hour, staying elevated right through your Thursday and even into Friday. And we do have a small craft advisory in effect for the next 2 days. So if you're thinking about taking the boat out, please be careful. Seas 5 to 7 feet, at times up to 9 for Thursday. Friday, at times up to 8 feet, but generally seas 4 to 6 feet. And then for the weekend, the winds coming down just a little bit. Now for your Thursday, 78 degrees, partly cloudy. A few showers will be possible, and high temperatures upper 70s, low 80s for South Palm Beach County. Similar readings across North Palm Beach County and for the Treasure Coast too. Lots of upper 70s, pretty much picture perfect weather for this time of year, with the exception of the winds, especially at the beaches. And from time to time, a shower will be possible Thursday, generally around a 20 to 30% chance of rain. So let's go ahead and take you to the 7-day forecast, where your weekend is always in view. About a 20 to 30% chance of showers over the next few days, and those temperatures staying warm in the upper 70s to low 80s.
Gotta love it, Florida in December. Thanks, Kate. Well, as Terry showed us earlier, someday JOMO should replace FOMO. We're going to talk about that. And it was a special Christmas feast for hundreds of people. All that in the 561. Meantime, here's a look at our Sky Team 12 drone shot of the day. Look at this beautiful video from Taylor Creek in Okeechobee. We're back on the other side of the break.
Media radio stations, proud partners of the CBS 12 News Network, the one to turn to.
Well, it was a very special holiday meal for hundreds of people in Boca. For the third year in a row, the Town Center Mall opened its doors on Christmas Day to host the annual Christmas feast. 435 people from Boca Helping Hands and other local children's-based nonprofits enjoyed food, all provided by the mall's most popular restaurants and Joseph's Market. The kids also getting gifts and the chance to take pictures with who else but Santa. Earlier, Terry talked about the new campaign that is encouraging people to unplug from the online world, and it's giving us something to talk about today. JOMO, short for the joy of missing out, JOMO, which is meant to replace FOMO, the fear of missing out. Now, JOMO is about disconnecting, opting out, and being okay just where you are. It's about being in places you really want to be and accepting that missing out on things isn't the same as being left out. So, Terry, question, what do you think of the idea of JOMO?
I love this idea. It can be hard to not have the fear of missing out sometimes, but I think the idea of centering ourselves and finding joy in our current situation is really important.
Certainly is. All right, let's head over to Kate now. And Kate, what do you think of this, JOMO or FOMO?
Well, you know, I definitely have FOMO. I kind of always like to be where things are going on, but I like the concept of JOMO because I think it tells us that sometimes, you know, we need to be okay just being alone and just kind of creating our own joy. So I think overall it's a good concept.
Yeah, you know, it's joy versus fear. Which would you pick?
Joy.
I'm gonna go with JOMO today too. No more FOMO. Let's see how it works. Okay, time now to answer our question of the day. We're most likely to rush out and buy batteries on Christmas Day. So the question, what was number 4 on the list? And the answer is, Kate?
What about eggnog?
Eggnog. Actually, that's a really good choice. I had a quart of that myself the other day on Christmas. All right. The real answer is, are we ready for this? There it is, wine.
All right.
That was number 4 on the list where we're most likely to rush out. Yeah, batteries, not too much, but wine, number 1. All right. We want to thank you for joining us. We'll be back tonight at 5 with more of your latest headlines. Until then, I'll hope that you have a great rest of the day. Take care.